Thanks to the supporters at channel member Nick Collard. I know I said the Champions League wasn't really a priority on this save, but we're 3 games in and it's really not going very well. So it's kind of gone up the priority list a little bit. Zenit are top of our group, for goodness sake. Hello, welcome to part 12 of Rebuilding Arsenal. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you. One against the Zebras, Juventus, in the Champions League, and the other is in the Premier League, away against Brighton. In fact, depending on how Juventus goes, we might show the Antwerp game in the Champions League. If Champions League really starts to look ropey, we'll focus in on it. If we beat Juventus, we'll just do the Brighton game. If we lose or draw, I guess I have to show you Antwerp. I'm already planning on showing you the final Zenit game tomorrow with Manchester United, because then we break for the World Cup. So we might be doing lots of Champions League focus on this save that's not really focused on the Champions League, but that's because it is going really poorly. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. We obviously lost to Zenit. We then only managed to draw away against Juventus, leaving the group looking like this. 4 points from 3 games. We're 3rd in the group. A win over Juventus and all is right with the world again. Anything else, and we might struggle going into those final 2 games, knowing that everyone's going to beat Antwerp, and I imagine both us and Juventus beat Zenit. Would that be enough? We'd really have to beat Zenit. It gets complicated. Let's just beat Juventus. The Premier League, on the other hand, looking a lot healthier. This is what the Premier League looks like. 13 games gone. We're on 33 points, 3 points behind Manchester United, who are just an absurdly good team in this FM. Who'd have thought, eh? And yeah, we need to catch them, but we are comfortably in 2nd place, looking pretty good. And as you saw there, winning games, playing well. So let's go beat Juventus. This is the team that we're going to be sending out there to try and do it. We are going with Onana in goal. I know we've been using him in the Champions League anyway, but I've actually started to bring him in the league. He'd got grumpy that he wasn't getting game time. So Onana, for the time being, is my starting keeper, although now Ramsdale is grumpy. So I think we've just got to accept the fact that they're both going to be grumpy all the time, or one of them's going to be grumpy all the time. We can't keep 2 first-choice goalkeepers happy. We kind of probably should have already known that. A back 4 of Tierney, Zagadou, Ginter, and a not fully fit Pereira, but Tomiyasu is full injured, so Pereira's just going to have to make do and see how much of the match that he can get through. Llorente and Kessie in midfield, and then Gnabry, Smith Rowe, and Saka behind Martinez up front. Let's throw everything at Juventus and hopefully pick up a victory. As you can see, we are still fully in this rotation mode that we need to be. Anyone who's played Season 2 in a big league with a big team in FM22 will know just how difficult this World Cup being where it is makes things. Games come so thick and fast. The Champions League group stages have to be done by early November. You are literally playing games every 2 or 3 days, probably 3, not 2. Every 3 or 4 days, you've got a football match all the way through, and playing a high tempo system like most of us probably are. I think if you're managing a big club, you tend to play one of the more high tempo systems. Doing that twice a week, every week with no respite, it tires your players out. And we are, even if I didn't want to rotate, I think I'd be forced into it by the injuries that we'd accumulate. But we've got 2 players in behind here, and there's some excellent defending from one of my boys from Barcelona, De Ligt. But both Gnabry and Martinez were in behind. Gnabry squared it. Martinez basically had an open goal, and somehow De Ligt is there to cover. And now Ricardo Pereira, proving my point, really. We've started him when he's not fully fit. Now he's picked up a knock and he's going to have to come off at half-time. That's exactly what I was saying before. If you don't rotate voluntarily, the game will force you into doing it. So we're going to have to, I guess, put Ginter or Skriniar out at right back. So Ginter he's accomplished at right back. That was already Ginter. What about Skriniar? Skriniar is also accomplished at right back. The assistant manager is recommending Digne, but he can't even play right back. Can Tierney? Not as well as either of those other two. So we're just going to bring on Skriniar and stick Ginter out to right back. I think we'll just do that, and that should be enough to at least keep us rolling over. It's going to be obviously a much less significant attacking threat, though, unfortunately. Right, Saka playing it across to Kessie, and now Martinez. And back to Kessie again, and Gnabry has got himself in behind again. He's having a lot of fun down his left-hand side, and this time he squares it to Lautaro Martinez, and there's no Delict in the way because he'd gone out to follow Gnabry, and it's almost a carbon copy of our good chance from the first half. Those two causing all kinds of problems with their pace, getting in behind. Gnabry's done excellent work again, and this time Lautaro Martinez applies the finish, and Arsenal go 1-0 up, and that is exactly what we needed to get ourselves back on course in this Champions League campaign. Smith Rowe now with the corner, and in swinger to Skriniar. It falls to Gnabry, and I tell you what, Serge Gnabry has had a fantastic game today. I know there were some eyebrows raised at bringing in a player that we potentially didn't need. Probably him less so than Llorente, I think, who got the most heat on the transfer episode. But Gnabry, I think, made a lot of sense. He was an elite level player who's homegrown at Arsenal. It was a bit of a no-brainer, really, to bring him in. And he's showing today just how much of a good player he is, because he's just running the match, playing it across now to Smith Rowe, whose effort comes back off the crossbar. We could have been 3-0 up there inside the first 10 minutes of this second half, which we have started very, very brightly. Gnabry now absolutely shattered, as you can probably imagine, after the match he's had so far. I think he's probably earned himself a nice little sit down. Right, what have we got? What are we going to do? Lots of tired players. Right, we will take off Gnabry because that was the one that was recommended by the assistant manager, so I guess he needs it most. And then we might, I think, Smith Rowe, Saka, these are young boys you can just keep on running. I'm looking at Llorente, but we don't really have anyone to come on for Llorente. There's no Jude Bellingham today. He's picked up an injury, so I think we'll just take off Martinez, bring on Belotti, just to get him on, to keep on running and putting the Juventus defence under pressure. Smith Rowe with the free kick, which once again is hitting the woodwork. Look at the match stats for today's game. We've hit the post or the crossbar, I think, 3 times. Is it 2? 2 or 3 times. We have absolutely dominated Juventus. That is an absurd set of match stats. Our XG is 3.5. We've had 33 shots. Juventus don't really know what's hit them there, I don't think. Possibly another example of opposition AI not showing any kind of ambition when they go behind in the game, but we're not going to dwell too much on that. We're just going to enjoy the fact we picked up the victory, and that does leave us in a much stronger position now in our group. Juventus are in trouble because we have the advantage over them on the head-to-head. We drew away, 1 at home. Zenit have got 10 points on the board already, so would kind of consider themselves through already. We've got Antwerp to play in our next game, which I won't show you now because everyone's beating Antwerp. We'll do a league game now, but Antwerp between the 2 episodes, and then we play Zenit in the final match so Juventus would have played Zenit. If Zenit beat Juventus or even pick up the draw, Juventus are in trouble. Juventus are actually in trouble. Let's go play, I think it was Brighton in the league. We continue to rotate back in the Premier League then. Shuffling things around a little bit. Apparently, Llorente can play right back as well. He is the most useful utility player I've ever spent £80 million on. We've bought the Spanish James Milner, and I'm not even upset about it. He's going to play right back for us today. He's a natural right wing back. He might be perfect in that role for us. And so he's going to play it right back with Tomiyasu and Pereira both injured. Skriniar comes back in at centre back alongside Zagadou and Tierney. We're bringing Odegaard back in midfield alongside Kessie, and Gnabry moves over to the right-hand side with Saka dropping down to the bench and Diaz coming back into the team on the left-hand side. I love the fact that Llorente can play everywhere. It's absolutely perfect. Right, we need a win today. We've got to keep piling the pressure on in the Premier League. Remember, the big goal of this season is to win a domestic double. We won the FA Cup last year. We came closer than anyone expected in the Premier League. But this year, we do need to go, I was going to say 1 better, but it's actually 3 better. I think we finished 4th last year. But Manchester United are the team we're trying to catch, and they are just utterly relentless. So we have to keep winning. We're going to be playing them tomorrow, actually, with our final Champions League game in the group stages, plus Manchester United in the Premier League tomorrow going to be a very big episode. There is Smith Rowe to open the scoring with 40 seconds on the clock. That'll do. I say Man United are relentless. We need to become relentless too, and we certainly seem to be getting there. And there was a couple of chances as part of this move, as you would expect. Gnabry involved again. Llorente getting forward on that right-hand side, showing he's going to be a very useful player for us out there. Imagine a world where I'm just playing Llorente at right back and Saka at left back. I think at this point, you probably all know it's coming. Because why play fullbacks at fullbacks when you can play attack-minded midfielders there and just forget about defending completely? And we've got, bearing in mind, we've got Odegaard as our holding midfielder in all this as well, or sometimes Jude Bellingham. Defending is for losers. Gnabry now on the right-hand side again. He's such a danger whenever he gets the ball, playing it back to Llorente, who is linking up with Gnabry beautifully on the. I'm loving it already down that right-hand side. Zagadou to Tierney. Some people asking why Tierney keeps starting ahead of Digne. The main reason is we decided to make Tierney club captain before Digne signed. So I don't really want to appoint a club captain and then stop playing him immediately. So Tierney is one of the few players who's kind of nailed on as a starter, at least this season, until I feel like he's been captaining long enough for us to maybe decide to stop making him captain. But we've already moved Aubameyang on as captain. Looking at Odegaard because he's just scored a worldie. But Aubameyang was captain, and of course we dropped him and took the armband off of him. We don't want to do the same again immediately because dynamics is already a little precarious with the amount of transfers that we've done. Changing the captain too often, not a good idea. Right, Smith Rowe then, with the counter-attack again. Still only 25 minutes gone. And again, it goes through Gnabry. He plays it over the top to Martinez, who hits the post. We had the opportunity there to be 3-0 up, home and dry, before half hour of the game was even played. But Martinez not quite able to apply the finish. And Manchester United have just noticed are losing, or in fact have lost. I think they were the early kickoff. United have lost 4-1 at home to Liverpool. Imagine Manchester United conceding loads of goals against Liverpool. This game's so unrealistic. But that's with Donny van der Beek red card, Mo Salah missed penalty, couple of goal for my boy Virgil van Dijk. But that is huge for us because that means a win today, which we are looking like we're going to be achieving, puts us level on points with Manchester United. Just a match or two before we face off against them in the league. We could be sending these boys off to the World Cup, top of the Premier League, and qualified out of our Champions League group. The rebuild continues apace, boys and girls. This is all going to plan. And there's a goal for Skriniar from the corner. Remember, we're not just doing near post corners now. We do have a mixture of corners on. So I don't want to hear those groans from the comment section when we score a near post corner like this. That could have just as easily been hit to the far post, played short. But it did go near post, and we do have some very aerially dominant players. Skriniar, of course, very much one of them. And if you do hit it just right to the near post with Skriniar and Zagadou lurking there, there's a very good chance it's going to result in a goal. There we see an example of why Llorente might not be the best option for us to play at right back. Completely out of position, and Brighton get in down that right-hand side of ours and do grab a goal back. Which one of these is Llorente? Is that Llorente? Yeah. So Llorente was basically playing as a DM, and the ball comes in and he was like here and had to try and make up the ground out to that right-hand side. Was never going to get there. He's been very, very good going forward. I'm not necessarily against him playing here again because he's such a threat going forward. I certainly think against teams like Brighton, we can get away with it, but it probably shouldn't be something that we're looking to do for real football matches. Right, we're going to take off some of these boys who've played a lot of football recently. So Gnabry can come off with Saka coming on. We're going to take off Smith Rowe and bring on De Ketelaere. And we'll take, you know what, we will take off Tierney and bring on Digne. They can be our 3 changes for this match. I think, did I see something in the media recently that 5 substitutions is going to be a thing going forward? Not in this save though, which would have been handy there. I would have just made all 5 in one go and changed half the team there just to keep them fresh. It'd be lovely for a squad the size of ours. Probably Brighton would be less enthused by it if with 20 minutes to go, we just bring on 5 more world-class players. So I certainly see the argument for maybe not doing it, but we're a big team now, boys and girls, as demonstrated by the Premier League table that has us up there, level on points with Manchester United, 1 point ahead of Liverpool, 4 ahead of Manchester City. There's a big 4 in England again, and we are very much in it and very much in this title race, which is exciting stuff, boys and girls. There's your league table. We'll just have a look at the schedule. Just what is happening there? Why has it got a little camera sign on there? I thought I'd accidentally clicked something to bring up some highlights. I haven't. That would have been weird. So tomorrow's episode will be, like I say, the last couple of matches before the World Cup. So that's Zenit in the Champions League, Manchester United in the Premier League, chance to go top of the table there. And then when we're back from the World Cup, which apparently we've arranged a friendly cup for to get us fit again, but when we're back, they'll love that just before Christmas as well. All the players' wives are delighted because it's away as well. A friendly World Cup, a friendly cup in Germany. Lovely. But then Boxing Day, we play Liverpool. So we could go top of the table there and go further ahead there, or we could be smashed out of the title race before the January transfer window even opens. Either way, it's going to be an exciting couple of episodes. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.